Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope y'all are doing great. Today we're going to be making a fun stretchy bracelet, and I am going to show you how I made something. I'm going to make something similar to this from the Having Fun Making Jewelry collaboration I'm taking a part of. So what the first thing is, you want to gather your materials. I do recommend you have a bead board. A bead board is just a board that has numbers and measurements all on it to show you how much material you're going to be using to create your project. I like to take a walk on the wild side and don't use my bead board. But I'm going to get more serious about jewelry making because I've just invested some money in some more beads and stuff, so I need to get serious. Um, so you're going to gather your beads. These beads are from Hobby Lobby, most of them. Some of them are from pieces of jewelry I've taken apart. I'm going to show you what you need this little binder clip for, needle, and then your stretchy material. I am not a craft DIY bead jewelry making expert, so take what I tell you with a little bit of knowledge and then go and do your own research. You know, they have craft books you can get from the library. You can check them out from the library, or you can watch like actual jewelry videos from jewelry companies. I think those are probably the most knowledgeable. And then you can go to people that craft a lot of jewelry. My go-to person is Deb Hoke's Crafty Cottage. She's very, very knowledgeable. If you've never seen anything that the woman creates, go to her channel. Check her out. She's amazing. She makes wonderful, wonderful things. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just stretching this card out just to make sure it's still pliable and it's not rotted and broken. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my needle and thread it with the stretchy wire. I think that with the stretchy wire, because I've had professional things that I purchased from like stores and they've broken because of the over time, like if you leave this in the sun, it's going to rot, right? And I live in Texas and I leave stuff in the car a lot. I used to before the little one came along. He likes to remind me, Mommy, you forgot your whatever, right? So anyway, um, what I'm doing now is I'm just eyeballing it to see how long I want this to be. Again, whenever I make the stretchy braces, I want them to fit my wrist comfortably as well as not show the material that I'm using, okay? So now with my needle and thread, well, my needle, I'm just going to check and see how much I'm using. And I think I guesstimated it perfect, but I'm just going to pull it down just a little bit more, um, just to be safe. I like to be extra cautious when I'm making these because I don't like to keep going back and forth over and over again with them. So that's pretty good right here, you see? Has some ply, some stretchy to it, so that's really good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my binder clip and I'm going to go right to the very edge of this thing. And I'm going to binder clip it. If your mind is blown, mine was too when I did it. When I first did it, I was like, oh, that's a great idea. The reason why I'm doing this is because say if I put too much material on here, I don't have to cut it now. I can just come back, adjust, and cut as needed. So I have everything already threaded up, needle and thread. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to create a pattern really quickly. Another reason why you need your bead board, because now you have your measurements. You can just measure out your beads to make sure that you are good to go. All right. So you can do that with this kind of, I'm taking a walk on the wild side today, like I said. So we're going to go ahead and put these all out. Okay. So we're going to put this here first. And if you notice the white beads, I only have a few of those. So I have to be very strategic on how I want them to be. And since I want this to be one of the main focals and this to be a focal, everything's going to lie in between those two pieces, okay? So we have this one, we have that. We're going to put a flat white here, a flat white here. Put this out the way so I can focus and concentrate. If you're working on a flat surface with nothing, you could use some felt, some fabric to help the bead stop rolling so much, because that can be quite annoying at a point and you're like, ugh. So now we're going to use these pieces right here. Then we're going to use this one. And you know, this is not a final anything. Once you look at it and you don't like the pattern, you can always adjust as needed. But now we're just getting them all out. And I think what we're going to do is move this to here. I think that will look better, to me at least. All right. All right, so we got those. And now we're going to use these shiny little pearl, blue shiny pearl pieces right here. And if you don't know, I am partial to blues, greens, and silvers. So a lot of the projects that I have, unless I got it on sale, will always kind of be those colors because that's what I like. My wardrobe, however, is all over the place. It's not really a set in stone type of wardrobe, so I can pretty much go in a closet and pick anything. But I like simple things, and I like t-shirts with funny sayings on them. So that's what I tend to do. I've made a few shirts, not really for myself. I made one for myself when I went to see Thomas last year, and I made one for the little roommate. Okay, so this is our pattern so far, and I think that I will need to add a few more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stop right here where you see my finger at. I'm going to add those down just in case. Because what I wanted to do is repeat and loop back into this so it'll all look the same, if that makes sense to you all. So we're going to use these white right here. I think. Or maybe I can throw it in here. Maybe I'll throw it in right here. Yep. So when you have your beadboard or a good flat surface, you can look at your materials and say, oh, I like that pattern, or no, I think this needs to come out, and things like that. So it doesn't look so uniform, but it looks uniform. You don't want it to be big, 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 little, 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 little. You want it to have a good flow on it, in my opinion. So like I have a solid white pearl crystal looking jewel piece, clear white pearl, and see this one kind of 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, so it kind of flows properly in my humblest opinion. I'm going to put this one at the very end. I think that will look nice, just like that. So let's go ahead and see if we have done it. So now that you have your material beaded, excuse me, on a needle, you just kind of come and do it. I have watched, if you ever went to Pinterest, you'll know that they have like little short videos. I watched this person, they're using seed beads and they're creating things, and they're just like, and in 5 seconds they've created a whole entire masterpiece. I'm just like, talent. Like, I love it. But I'll never be that kind of person, because some things that I watch I'm not interested in, if that makes any sense to you. Like, some things I don't like. I like it just to look at it because I think it's cool, but it's not my cup of tea. Like, I'm not into it. So now we're just beating these on, and let's see if we've done a good job at doing this. So now we just come back and we see how it's going to look. And you can see right here where my binder clip is. I think I need a few more pieces, and what I'm going to do here is just verify. So I'm going to put this just like this and put my hand through it. Yep, I think I need like 2 more pieces. All right, so normally I would be very not happy with myself because I didn't trust in the process, but I'm going to start right here, and I'm just going to take off these pieces. Now, it's other ways you can do it, but this is easy for me because we have this wonderful needle. We already have a pattern created, so it's not like it's going to be catastrophic upset. And I'm choosing to show you this just because, you know, the first couple of times you do this, you may not get it just right. You may not get it perfect. And the size of the beads definitely make a difference on how your jewelry pieces come out. If you use all little beads, you're going to need more. If you use ginormous beads or larger beads, you're going to need less. So I think I want to use a clear one. I'm going to use this clear and then pearl, okay? Which is really cool. And I think that'll be all we need on both sides. So now we're just going to repeat that again. All right, so let's just see how we did this time. Again. And it's okay. It's okay. So now what I'm going to do is just push this here. Take this off. All right. I'm going to leave this just like that. I'm going to clip this in. All right. And I like for my ends to be as even as possible when I'm doing jewelry making stuff. I'm not sure why that little quirk is there for that. And I'm going to leave my needle in place just because I feel like it'll help me out to hold it. Try to do this with dry fingers, dry hands. I put lotion on because I don't want to be too ashy on camera, but if you can, try it with dry hands. So now I'm just going to tie this in a few knots, and I usually do like 3 or 4 knots. The first knot, once I get the first knot, you can, for me, I cut this just because it's easier to work with on a shorter scale. But when I'm first doing it, because I don't want to lose it, and if I lose, you know, if I lose all the beads off, I can just rebead them really quickly. And so now what we're doing is we're going to do another knot. So at this point, you have to decide on what you're going to do with your ends, okay? I like to do double, triple knots just because I feel like it's easier, I'm more secure with tying a lot of knots on the projects. And it doesn't want to work because you see this end is kind of short and I have greasy fingers. Okay, but I got it. All right, so once you get your knots, I only did 2 knots. What I do, you can use if you have jewelry making glue to keep things bonded together, you can definitely use that. I just use this art glitter glue, and I put that on there just to let it sit a little bit and dry, right? And then, so I think this whole side is a lot larger. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in, snip these off. I don't want to cut them too short, but I want to cut them short enough that you can't see that. And now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to push or pull this big piece through. And for some reason, Brandy didn't make that happen. So now it's on the little piece. That's fine. No big deal. All right, so then I'm just going to work it around because you really don't want your front and end to show. So this one's a lot looser than this one. So you can tell it's a little dangly, which I don't mind a little dangle to go up or down my arm. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you don't want it to be too loose, you can take that one and this one right here, and you can put it like that. And now you have like a chunky bracelet. You know, but it's still a little bit loose. So I could have not added like maybe 2 beads instead of 4, but I like this like this. Actually, I think that looks really cool, and it looks like it goes together. So that is that. This is our completed project. And if you notice this, how it starts and stops, like you can tell it's a pattern, even though it looks like it's not really a pattern. I like to create things like that. So I hope that you have taken something away from this, how I make a bracelet. I want to say thank you all for watching. Until next time, happy crafting.